Hello, so today is day 35 already. That means there's only 6 more days to go before my 40th birthday. For today, I'd like to thank God for the gift of human persons who are self disciplined and are socially responsible. In these times of the pandemic, along with our frontliners, these self disciplined and socially responsible human persons are our reluctant heroes. Reluctant because, given the choice, they would not do what they're doing now for all of us, for each other, to put themselves in danger, to keep us safe, to endure the suffering in many ways and forms, but because they know what is right, what is good, not only for oneself, but for others, for each other, for everyone, they chose to do what they would not want to do. Hashtag common good, hashtag communal good. This random but important thing that I am thankful for today was triggered by knowing from one of my friend's IG stories that there was still a protest rally at Yong-Dundas Square, and probably in other locations all over downtown Toronto or in other cities in the province of Ontario or even across Canada. I am no alien to activism or being a rebel, as far as I've shared in days 18 and 20 of my 40 thank you videos. And I think in all my experiences, no matter the advocacy, the cause, the context, I am always guided by these primary questions. First, can what I stand for and do help others? The key word here is others. Others is conceptually not me, not just my family, not just my friends, not just a few, but others as in all besides me, all including my family, my friends, so on and so forth. Others include those who disagree with our advocacy or our cause. Others include the opposing party. This is where the reluctance I mentioned earlier is experienced. Why? Because if we mean to stand or do something for the common good, for communal good, for others, we are willing to step back to see things objectively, free from the blinders of our subjectivity, like our comforts and conveniences, our preferences, biases, and prejudices. And if our advocacy or cause for common good, for communal good, is realized, by consequence, since it is for others, since it includes all, it includes me. Second is what I am doing, as in the advocacy or the cause, standing on the right ground. Again, is what I am doing standing on the right ground. I remember I would often speak of this to my students, especially when they are complaining about structures and processes like rules, schedules, or requirements, etc. You have to be on the right ground. You have to make sure that your advocacy or your cause, from the level of conception to execution, stands on the right ground. In short, if you want to criticize law, make sure you are standing on the right side of the law. Your criticisms, your protests against law does not put you above the law. Third, does my advocacy or cause have the same value and or merits as to what I am criticizing or protesting? Again, does my advocacy or cause have the same value and or merits as to what I am criticizing or protesting? Take note of value and merits. Value includes conceptual intent of the law, and merits include measurable results or consequences of following the law. If masks are to save lives, if we are to criticize it, we have to propose something of the same value and merit, of the same conceptual intent or measurable results to save lives. Protests, though making noise can steer status quo, can start conversations, yes, I get that, but it's just noise when we don't bring anything sound to the table. We can't just say stop this, stop that, this is not good, that is bad, etc., etc., without bringing alternative solutions that are of the same value and merit. That is why hugs over masks is cute, but for lack of term, childish. And these are times when we can't be led by or led into immaturity. Third, if by necessity you needed to exercise your civil rights, such as your right for civil disobedience, ask first the question again. Question number one, can what I stand for and do help others? So, what does that tell us of those who protest physically in Yong-Dundas Square when the law says otherwise? Blows my mind. And when you say, I have rights, a big concept to conveniently carry with you, hopefully not only when it only applies to you at that moment, but rights become yours and mine because it is arbitrarily and conventionally universal. Hard fact, but arbitrarily and conventionally means our rights are constructs, and so has a context. Their universality has a context. I don't want to go deep into the woods with this, but we have to ask ourselves when we invoke our rights, where our rights are grounded. Is it civil? Is it moral? Either ways, regardless of the context, our rights becomes ours because it is arbitrarily and conventionally universal. It is never subjective, it must be objective, it is never inconvenient. Otherwise, if our rights is individual, subjective, like if there are 100 million of us on earth still alive, we can't possibly have 100 million sets of rights. That would be absurd. And whether we like it or not, our rights point us to others. It only has value and merit when you have others, as in all, as in universal, when you invoke it. So every time you invoke it, you invoke the rights of others also. The moment it benefits only you, especially in the context of law, your rights stop. As the dictum goes, my right ends when the rights of others begin. My right ends when the rights of others begin. Thanks to the seminary and thanks to our rector, Monsignor Maurilio Silva, for this old school life lesson. That is why, as I'm reflecting on this and thanking God for the many self disciplined and socially responsible human persons here and all over the world, I am mindful of and praying for those who are blinded by selfishness that they cannot look past the convenient truths and sacrifices that we all have to endure for others, as in for all, for each other, that they may, at least in their sensible minds, in their human compassion, advocate alternatives that have the same value and merit for common good, for communal good, and while they advocate for that, stand on the right ground. And together we say, Amen. Thank you.